Okay, so again, thank you so much for having me here speak to you today. And in the interest of time, I can only show you 3 resources to help you with the case analysis for your assignment. So this is tied to an assignment. And if you already know these resources backwards and forwards, I'm sorry. But the one other takeaway from this is you know who I am now. I am your business librarian for MBA. So if you have any questions, if you still have trouble finding information for your case analysis, please send me an email and we can work together. We can look at other resources. We subscribe to dozens, hundreds, thousands of resources. And like I said, in the interest of time, I can only cover 3 today. So for your case analysis, you will need to do some background research for your company and also for your scenario. So I've kind of split it up to 2 different sections of research that you will most likely do for each case. So you will need to do the company research, and we will look at Factiva and Business Source Complete. And then we will shift gears a little bit and look at the scenario research. You want to do some research about your particular scenario or particular industry or sector, depending on which industry your company falls under. And for that, you can also use Business Source Complete. So that's good, 2 birds, 1 stone. And we will also explore Ibisworld as well for industry reports. So I have chosen this case study as our sample to use as we explore those resources. So I've pulled up this case study about Shanghai Port, and the case study was talking about RFID implementation to their container vehicle management to kind of improve their supply chain management processes so that they're more effective in tracking the container vehicles. And so it's just some background information about that case. You don't have to worry about it, but that's what I will be using as we use the resources and the databases. So the first thing you want to do is the company research, right? So you probably want to start on the company's website to see what they're letting us know about their company. And the next thing is you can also look at newspapers to see what has been written about them either a couple of years ago and also currently. So if you want to look up what happened in the past, right, because you might want to do some background information on that versus the current situation of the company today. So Factiva is a database. Yes. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it will be available upon Moodle. Thank you for that. So Factiva is a database for international newspapers. So that's really good for the latest hot off the press articles about companies or anything you can think of. And the good thing about the databases that I will show you as well is that you can access them from home. All you need to do is you might be prompted for the net name and password. Just enter that in and you should have seamless access into these resources, okay? So Factiva, when you do this search, you probably want to just do a basic company name search, a keyword search, to see what kind of articles appear. And it's taking forever to load, of course. Okay, too slow. No problem. I have backup. Okay. So once you go into the database, there is that search box up there, right? So you'll type in the company name. In this case, that case study mentioned Shanghai Port, although it wasn't exactly the name of the company. But I did that anyway. That was the name of it in the case. So I entered Shanghai Port. One thing to note is the date. By default, it only pulls up the last 3 months. But if you want to go further back, you can just click on that drop-down menu and select 6 months or 1 year or what have you. So you can see how far back you want those articles to come from. And then hit that blue search at the top there. So once you do that, you will see all of the articles that mention Shanghai Port. Not necessarily company, it could just be a keyword search, right? So you can have a look at that. Again, the last 3 months is pretty current, right? So they're pulling from all sorts of newspapers, all sorts, international in scope. So there could be newspapers from China, maybe. There could be newspapers from the States. There might be something from Wall Street Journal, Globe and Mail, National Post, anything you can think of that we subscribe to in Factiva, it will be in there. So you can have a look, just scroll down the results to see if there's anything of interest. And we have full text to all of these articles. So you just click on the title, and away you go. You can read the newspaper article for that. So one thing to note for maximizing your search, because you can see here there are 53, you can't see it, but there are 53 results there. Sometimes depending on your company, if it's Starbucks, you're going to have a lot, right? Hundreds. Or if it's, I don't know, another really popular company, Apple, there will be lots. So how to limit and filter your search is along the left-hand navigation there. There are some tools for you to click on to filter those search results. So for instance, there's the company section. So if there's something that you want to maybe focus on, a particular company that's partnering with Shanghai Port maybe, you might want to look at that, click on some of those. If you keep on scrolling further down, there is one particular section for industries. So you might want to click on any of those industries that pertain to your particular company that would be more relevant when you pull up those newspaper articles. So because this is a port, it's talking about harbors, transportation, so I might want to click on harbor construction maybe, or port harbor operations, that link there, to kind of limit the results so that they're more relevant for your case. Any questions about Factiva? Yes. Good question. So international in scope, all kinds of languages. So obviously English primarily, but there are also Chinese, French, Spanish. International languages, if you can't read that, there is an option to translate the articles, but it's based on Google Translate, so it might not be entirely accurate, but it's something. It's good enough for your needs. And if you have trouble finding the translate button, you don't know how to do that, just send me an email, and I can help you with that. Yeah. Yes?
Is there a way to export the search results to, let's say, like a Word document where you get all the articles lined up without having necessarily to do research or click separately on each one?
Good question. There is a way to save the search results, but again, in the interest of time, I can't show you all the bells and whistles of each of the resource. Just send me an email, and then I can work on that with you. Yeah. Any other questions? Quick questions? No? Okay. So let's look at another resource then for company research. And so we talked about company websites, Factiva. The next is Business Source Complete. How many of you have used Business Source Complete? Oh, excellent. Okay, a couple of you. So that is a database that the library subscribes to, and it's primarily a business database. So it pulls up all sorts of newspaper articles and academic articles on whatever topic you can think of. So let's search in Business Source Complete. And once you're in the database, again, typical search, you want to do just keyword search. We can type in Shanghai Port. And because, like I mentioned, that's not the company's name. It's just the name that was given in the case. So I wanted to be a bit more creative in my search to include the other names as well. I did some preliminary research and also looking on the company's website. They're actually called Shanghai International something. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Shanghai International Port Group. So that's what I also want to use. And also note the acronym as well, SIPG. So I want to maximize my search to get the best bang for my buck. So I will use all those variant names of the company to retrieve my results. So I will also do Shanghai International Port. That's good enough. I don't need to put group or SIPG or Port of Shanghai. I've seen that before too. So Port of Shanghai. So you'll notice things going on here. I am combining terms with or, right? because I want one or the other. You have to get in the author's head. How are they writing their articles? They might not necessarily be using Port of Shanghai, right? Some authors might say Shanghai Port. That's the reason why we use or to combine. One or the other. Make sense? Question? In the and part. Good question. Because and, you're getting the overlap. Because remember, authors might not use Port of Shanghai and SIPG, right? So if you use and, you are going to not retrieve those articles that only talk about Port of Shanghai. Does that make sense? So or is to combine like terms or synonyms. Yes?
I think the question was more that where the end is, it's probably dropped already.
Okay. You can do that. You can. Yeah, thank you. You can do that as well. Yeah. But it's just easier to type it all in one line. But you can do that. Yeah. Good question. Yeah, you can do that. So that's how I've done it. For any phrase searching, so anything with more than one word, use the quotations, again, to make sure your search is relevant, so that it will search Port of Shanghai as a phrase search, not port somewhere in the article of somewhere else in the article in Shanghai somewhere else, because then you're going to get a lot of noise for your results. Okay? So then hit search, and then you will see all of the results. So 224, not too bad. What I like to do in this database is to click on the page options link right there and to hit on detailed view so that we can see the abstract right away. So you don't have to click into the results or click into full text if you're not sure whether or not you want to read that. So 224 is still a lot. You're thinking I don't know if I want to go through all of that. The good thing is it's by relevance ranking. So the results that tends to come on the first page, 2 pages, would be more relevant to what you're looking for, generally. So it's a pretty good algorithm. And if you wanted to still limit that search, if you wanted to look at academic papers on what researchers, scholars have been writing about on those companies, because they tend to be unbiased, right, if they're coming from scholars. So how you can do that is on the left-hand side, there is something called scholarly peer-reviewed journals. So you want to click on that to limit the results to only academic papers that have been peer-reviewed. And you'll see right away it reduces down to 27 results. Pretty good, right? It will save your time. Question?
What if you find the object in a specific magazine or specific journal?
Good point. Do you know the name of the journal?
It's in
Harvard Business Review. Okay. This is why I did not use this box. So now we want to look up a keyword search and a journal, right? So we want to look up Harvard Business Review. You type in the journal name into the second box. On the right-hand side here, select a field. You want to select publication name, which also means journal in a sense, the publication. So you click on publication name, okay? So we're doing a keyword search for the company, Harvard Business Review journal. We want to look up those keywords in that journal and search. I'm going to remove the scholarly peer-reviewed limit as well, just to not to complicate things. And we'll, oh, it removed it. And we will rerun that search. So publication name and search. And there weren't any. So they didn't write about it. But if we tried another company that's, bigger company, then they would probably have written about it. But that's how you would do it. Yeah. Yes.
When there is no PDF file, so here HTML.
Yes. Good question. Yeah. So you can, yeah. So basically, when you see the link, look for the link. Look for the link under each result, because that's how you access the full text, if we have it. So this one is an HTML full text. So yeah, you can click on it to access the full text. Oh, it's still doing this. Let me refresh. Okay. So yeah, just click on it, follow the link to access the full text. If you have questions, just email me. Question, yes.
And is it possible that we have you list certain, papers that you don't have? You just only give us the name and maybe just a brief description, and when you press on the link, you need to access.
Yes. So yeah. So like I mentioned, we have a good collection of what we do have access to, such as if you see the Find It at Concordia link, click on it. It will take you to the full text eventually. It's just the back end stuff. But don't worry about that. Just always search for the link underneath each article to access the full text. Sometimes you'll see a PDF right away, which is nice. But depends on the licensing agreement we have with publishers. That's why they're all different. Okay? So click on the link underneath to access full text. If you can't access the full text, email me and I can help you out. Okay? All right. So let's shift gears now. We're still in the same database, but we want to do a scenario research. So we're moving away from company research. We want to focus on the scenario and the industry, maybe. So how we can pull up that kind of information, I'm still doing the same thing. It's still a keyword search for the company name. Along the left-hand side, again, the left-hand navigation, we want to take off the peer-reviewed limit, right? We want to take that off, and we want to focus under source types, this section right here. Okay, so you'll notice that there are different sources of what the results are. So right away, I like to hit the Show More link, and it will show us all of the source types available for our search. What you want to focus on is industry profile. That's a good one. Country profile might be important too, and some others. And I will show you the list of what other source types you might want to also select to, again, maximize your results. And then click on Update. So what that means is these results, they are those types of reports. So they're not articles anymore. We're moving away from articles. We're looking at industry reports, company profiles. Yeah. So that will help you as well when you do your research. So you can see here, there's a market overview. That's not bad, right? Market overview. Industry forecast. So again, click on the link underneath the result to access the full text. Any questions? So I will show you that list right here. So underneath source types, right? When you click on Show More, I have highlighted in the slide what you should look for, depending on if they're available or not for that company. So industry profiles is good, country reports, market research reports, and SWOT. There are some companies where a SWOT analysis has been done. That's half of your work right there. Well, I'm kidding, not half, maybe a quarter, right? So there has been external companies, third parties, that have compiled a SWOT analysis of companies, and you can use that information for your research. It's already been done for you, okay? If available. So that's why I said if they are, click on them, and it will pull it up for you, okay? So the last resource I want to show you is Ibisworld, and that is to pull up industry reports. And it focuses on 3 countries, mainly Canada, US, and China. And sometimes they also provide global reports, depending on your case. Oh, let me go into Ibisworld. All right. So once you're in the database, you'll see that search bar there. Very simple. Just do a company search or keyword search on a particular industry. If you're looking at telecommunications, you can type that in. So again, I'll just do an easy search for Shanghai Port. And then you will see the results split up geographically according to the countries and the industry reports that fall under that. So there's the US section there, Canada, global, if available, and also China. And there are also some risk ratings reports as well, which might be useful. So I will open up maybe under China because it is in China, maybe the harbor and port operations for freight in China, and just click on that and it will take you directly to the industry report. So here it is. Here is the report. And the first page is just a definition of that industry. If you want to make sure that it is the right report for you. There's information about its supply chain, related industries, major players. If you want to look at the competitors, that might be good. And also the main activities that it falls under. So how you look at the report is that you'll notice the tabs across the top. Just click on the tabs to navigate the information for that report, okay? So there's industry performance, products and markets, competitive landscape, major companies again, operating conditions, and key statistics. So I'll just highlight key statistics, and I'll show you that they have some quick numbers for us for the revenue, number of people they employ, the annual change of that particular industry, and key ratios as well. So you'll notice that all of the tables here, you can export them to an Excel spreadsheet. And all of the other pages as well, there's always an option to download to PDF and also to print. Any questions about Ibisworld? Easy? Straightforward? So the reason why I pulled up these 3 tools is because I feel that they really will be useful to you as you compile all of your research for your case. And that is everything. Thank you so much. I also wanted to leave you with my contact information. Please do not hesitate to contact me. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. If any of the resources you tried that I showed you today, you don't find anything, please email me, please. I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed in your case analysis. So please email me and then we can work together. There are, like I mentioned, many, many other resources that I did not cover and that we might be able to find some gems to help you out. Thank you.